If you were to ask the Mercedes-Benz aficionado which is the best all-round modern vehicle of theirs, well, more than a few will tell you it's this one, the W210 era of the Mercedes E-Class. And of course, in every single form, the E-Class is a justified legend. These, though, well, they benefit from being one of the last eras, really, where Mercedes-Benz themselves could get away with certain things. Much like many manufacturers, these days, of course, many are going towards lighter construction. Cars don't have quite the same feeling of luxury and quality which you could argue they're used to, but also in terms of their engines. You could still have fantastic fuel economy, even fairly reasonable road tax, but from a bigger engine, with more power, more towing capacity, but without having to work the engine as hard either. In other words, a proper Mercedes. Exactly what you would want from a Mercedes-Benz, and this is a prime example. Now, we took on this car gladly as a part exchange against one of our other vehicles, and it lines up perfectly with everything we are all about, and certainly puts the affordable and the prestige both into our name, because this car has only just kissed a hair under 120,000 miles. And as anyone who knows from a Mercedes E-Class of frankly any generation, and the older you get, the more this is true, that is a drop in the bucket compared to what these cars are capable of. Of course, being a 3-litre diesel, even more so. It's an E280 in particular, an Avantgarde model in G-Tronic form when it comes to the gearbox. The long and the short of it is, of course, a nice smooth long distance automatic in very real terms. And in terms of pricing, well, that really is the cherry on the cake here, because this car is under £4,500 for a vehicle which still looks, feels, even smells, and certainly drives as good as these do. And of course, being the estate version, you have acres upon acres of room in the boot. The E-Class is a very spacious, very comfortable car anyway. In estate form, of course, even more so. So if you do, for example, intend to use it as a daily driver and a grocery getter and a holiday car, perhaps even a vehicle to ferry around a pet or two, it can do all of that in one platform. Now, this particular example comes with a documented service history behind it, which of course you can check out for yourself. It's 2 original keys and book pack, and its most recent keeper has had the car for 4 years and spared no expense. Of course, it has that lovely full leather interior. It is a Mercedes-Benz at the end of the day, and one of the lovely things actually when you look back to this era of Mercedes, this of course being a 2007, is the simplicity of its interior. Because these days cars have gigantic screens, buttons everywhere. Cars like this simply didn't. They're clean, classy, simple. Everything is exactly where and how it should be in the cabin. Everything is to hand, everything is where you want it to be, and it's simple. To go back to that engine, of course, you have plenty of towing capacity. If, of course, you were to use it as a holiday car, 320 foot-pounds of torque, but still fantastic fuel economy as well, as high as 37 miles per gallon average. And again, this is not a small car, so that is quite remarkable. What's even more remarkable, though, is on the motorway, as high as 48 miles per gallon. So for long distances, well, with an 80-litre fuel tank, you can eat up the miles in a car like this one, as it already has. Even in terms of road tax, despite being a large luxury vehicle, doesn't get much higher on the totem pole of prestige than Mercedes-Benz after all, it's still barely over £400 a year to tax, when many other cars, petrols and diesels alike, and certainly powerful larger ones, are in some cases nearly £800 a year to tax these days. In other words, you're getting a vehicle which was, of course, the best part of £50,000 when new in 2007, but not only are you now getting that same car for under £4,500, but it still has all of the ability that it had when it was a £50,000 car. It's still that impressive of a car. You could say even more so thanks to that simple, no-nonsense, gets the job done kind of approach to a luxury car. As we said, it is the prime example of Mercedes doing what they do best, which is a simple, direct, solid, long-distance car with luxury and practicality rolled into one. Plus, they're lovely to drive, and they still look fantastic as well. If then you've already been on the lookout for one of these Mercedes E-Class models specifically, or perhaps you're looking for a family car or an estate car in general, and this one catches your eye, of course, you could reach out regarding it via the email address shown here on screen, or give us a call on 01749 871 155 or via our mobile number of 07482 267 439.